Here is the simplest piece of advice you're going to get. Make more ads. That's it. That's the podcast for today. Thanks so much for watching and listening to In the Cutting Room. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, making more ads can be it's such a simple idea, but yet it's very, very like it's just not acted upon. And honestly, this advice is for myself, right? Because I know for me, it's so easy to just get too precious with our creative process, too precious about our systems, too precious about our strategies, too precious about finding the perfect ad, the next great ad. And again, as I said, I fall for this every single time. But what I see in my teams, but also in brands, is that we spend weeks trying to plan for this perfect creative brief. Teams are debating endlessly about messaging angles. Everyone wants to find the ad, and it just changes everything. And honestly, there's just this analysis paralysis disguised as being like, we're being strategic, we're thinking through things. But really, it lends itself to a lack of creation, right? And when you look at problems that brands have, a lot of times it's just because they're not taking enough swings. Now, I have talked at length about creative volume and why you shouldn't just like it's all about making ads and volume that gives you performance. That is still true, right? Like your ad account does not improve because of you put 100 in versus 50 ads in. Now, what is important about creating consistently is that if you are creating an ad or any piece of content, but you are coming at it with the lens of, I want to improve, I want to get better, you will get better, right? You will get stronger and you will build that creative muscle. And I think majority of the time, our ad creation muscles are not as strong as we think they are. And if we just created more ads and we just kept pushing to iterate and to come up with new ideas and just ship as opposed to being so precious about everything, we would inherently get better and we actually would probably find that perfect ad faster. And like, think about it. As we are being so precious about our ads, competitors are just shipping ads, right? Acquiring customers, growing. And that is what that's the business that we are in, right? The business that we are in is the customer acquisition business. We are here to acquire customers and we serve them the best products, right? You guys created the best products. My team goes and gets those customers to bring you back to your business, right? So the job is very simple. Get customers. Now, it's simple in theory. It's not the easiest thing, but when we think about just what is the most important part of the business, everything is supporting that one core function, right? And if you can consistently acquire customers, if you want to do that, you need to be consistently making ads and consistently making content. It's not mysterious, it's not complicated, but it is just hard work. That's what makes making ads hard, is because just when you have finished that one ad, you have to go and make another ad and you have to just keep going and making and making. And a lot of them are not going to work. So you are kind of pushing up against your psychology of yourself. Like, can I keep doing this? Can I just keep going? One more ad, one more ad. And it's just really hard to be consistently outputting ideas and ads. But the brands that are going to win are the ones that create consistently, test consistently, learn consistently, and then repeat consistently. You might have noticed that I didn't say perfectly. I didn't say create perfectly, test perfectly. I just said consistently. And creating content is a muscle. It's a muscle that needs to be developed. It is a muscle that is hard to develop, but it is something that can be developed. And like any muscle, it gets stronger with use and weaker with neglect. So the more you create, the better you're going to get. You're going to start to spot what works, find and write more compelling hooks, understand your audience better and deeper, and you're going to be able to move from idea to execution quickly. The less you create, the more you're going to overthink every single decision, second guess your instincts, get paralyzed by options, and lose touch with what resonates. So you have to think about, what muscle are you trying to build? Are you trying to build the one that's going to be really strong and help you be consistent? Or are you going to be neglecting and just letting yourself overthink and underdeliver? I think you know the answer. I think you know what it is. I know for me, it's about pushing for more ads. Now, more again is going to be different for every brand, right? More ads could just mean like that's 4 more ads than you're doing right now. For other people, that could be 40 more ads, right? So it, it is different in many situations. The hope of this episode is for you to understand that you cannot wait for the next thing to be created. You have to go out and create it. You have to go and push to go and keep making more ads. And the reason why more ads don't get made is usually because of so many things in the system that clog it up, that second guess it, that draw the process out so long that it's either not fun to create, or it just takes so long to get over the finish line that you're not even able to create quickly. And most of those resources that you're putting towards the ads are going through a rigmarole of a bunch of random steps, and we want to avoid that as much as possible. Now, I love like looking at art. It's something that I really enjoy, going to art museums. Why not? It's a vibe. But you look at Picasso, he created 50,000 pieces, over 50,000 pieces in his lifetime. I mean, he was doing like one a day. He's just like, he is just outputting. Now, of course, we see when we go to the museums or whatever, you see like the few pieces and you're like, wow, this is the best one, right? Or you think about these one-off pieces, but it's like, man, there's thousands you just don't even know about or haven't even seen, right? Van Gogh did 2,000 pieces in just 10 years. I mean, that's like, that's not, I don't know what that is. Let's see. That's not one a day, but that's like one every few days, right? That is consistent output through and through. That is insane, right? But they painted every day, and the masterpieces came from practice, not from like the planning. And ads are going to be the same way. You don't just like think your way to this great creative. It is about creating your way to get that great creative. You've got to push yourself. You got to get in there. You got to write copy. You got to keep writing copy. Write as much as you can. Shoot as much as you can. Edit as much as you can. Get teams to be doing this work as much as they can for you. You want to be proactively getting after making more ads. I think that perfectionism definitely becomes this paralyzing force in an organization. And again, as I said, I understand that. I feel like I get precious with our stuff. I think that perfectionism gets in our way of shipping content. But if you want to scale it, you want to build your brand, and you want that breakthrough ad that is going to help you continue to scale, sometimes that desire can actually be the thing that holds you back from scaling, because it's in that pursuit of greatness or whatever can actually stop you from just getting good, right? You're almost like not allowing yourself to like make bad ads, because you're just like, no, it has to be good. And so in the search of like this perfect ad, you prevent yourself from even making any ads at all. And that's what we have to be careful of, right? Of course, like, have some standard of quality. I'm not saying just ship anything and everything that comes to mind or whatever, but you want to be always actively pushing out ideas and trying to get as many ideas out there as possible. Yes, there's edits. Yes, there's brand standards, yada, yada, yada. But If you're not even writing stuff down because you're prejudging it, that is where issues start to creep in. So here's my simple rule. When in doubt, make the ad. You have an idea, write it down. Find a way to create it, get your team around you, and just make it. Stop asking, is this going to be the ad? Or what if this doesn't work? Take those questions out and start asking, how fast can we test this? What's our next idea? What's our next 3 ideas, right? It's easy to sit in meetings, analyze data, create frameworks, build processes. But the thing that actually moves the needle is making the ad, shipping the creative, getting it in front of customers, letting the market decide if it's a great ad, right? Who are we to decide that this is such a great ad and a masterpiece? Let them decide, right? They're the ones that are going to buy from it. And if they're not buying from it, you've got your answer. It ain't good. Now, that's humbling. We hate to say that it's humbling, but it's true, right? And the market will teach you more in 1 week of testing than a month of strategizing. Okay. It is going to tell you point blank, is this idea good or not good? And data is important, strategy matters, but there is no substitute for actually going out and creating, right? I think a lot of us like to talk about making ads, talk about how this could work, but going out and pen to paper, writing things down, actually taking your phone and start shooting content, actually editing it, actually publishing it. There's nothing that substitutes for that. You can build all the decks and all the ideas in your head and write it all down and present why it's all going to work. But at the end of the day, you've got to make it happen. You've got to go out and hit record. And it is in that action that most people get left behind. So here's a reality check. Not every ad you create will be a winner. Let me actually be a little bit more clear there. Most of your ads won't be winners. Okay. But every ad you create gets you closer to the ones that will win. So every ad teaches you something, every test reveals something, every piece of creative builds your understanding of what resonates with your audience. And the ads that never get made, they teach you nothing. Let me say that again. The ads that never get made teach you nothing. So when I am saying make more ads, I mean have a bias towards action over analysis. Test ads quickly instead of debating them endlessly. Build systems that enables creation, not complicate it. Celebrate learning, not just winning. So celebrate the learning of the losses, not just when you're winning, because that's going to create an environment of risk taking and create an environment that we're okay with some things not working because we learn from it. And also, when I say make more ads, I mean make creation a habit, not an event, not a moment in time in the month, but make it a consistent habit. The brands that are scaling while you're stuck planning meetings have one thing in common. They make more ads. That's it. They make more ads. They make content. They hit record more often than you do. They're not smarter. They're not more strategic. They don't have better tools or bigger budgets. They just create more consistently than you do. And the consistency compounds, right? So every ad that they make builds on the last one. Every time that they test, they learn more and it informs them for the next ad. So every piece of creative makes them better at creating the next piece. So while you're perfecting your creative brief, they're perfecting their creative muscle. And yeah, so over time, they will have bigger budgets. They will have more resources because they created more than you. They built up a ad account that can scale because they pushed for hitting record. So I want to leave you with this one thing, which is to stop overthinking, start creating. Stop overthinking and start creating. The brands you've always hoped for or hope to be is just it's on the other side, right? Like, let's say you're here, where you're going to go. The difference is the ads. It's just making more ads, making more content. That's the difference, right? You have the product, you might have product market fit, but where you want to go, more ads. We are in the customer acquisition business. That's what we do. We acquire customers. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We need to go out and create more ads and not be so precious about those things. We're not looking for perfect ads. We're not looking for revolutionary ads. We're just looking for more ads. And the breakthrough you're looking for isn't hiding in your strategy document, in your strategy deck, in whatever. It's hiding in the ad you haven't made yet. So I hope that today's episode was helpful. This is for me I'm just telling myself this, right? Like, I am just telling myself, this is advice for me, right? Which is, I can't be more precious. I got to go back to my team and say, look, we got to ship more. We got to just keep pushing it, right? We're going to celebrate winners. We're going to celebrate losers, and we're going to do our best every single day. But what we're going to build is this consistent habit of creation. Some ads are going to work. Some are not. Most are not, probably. But we want to be showing up and creating consistently for our brands and for our clients. So this is the same advice I'm giving you, I'm giving to myself and to my team. It's hard. It's really hard. It's easy to want to make things complicated, but don't forget to just hit record. Thank you so much for watching another episode of In the Cutting Room. Subscribe, follow me online at Matthew Gattozzi. You can hit me up anytime. Here for all the questions. I appreciate y'all big time. Thanks so much. Peace.